Howdy, everybody. Looks like we're live and it's showtime. All right. I'm just nothing super exciting. I wish I could tell you I hit the Powerball. I might have to run out and buy one of those tickets tonight. Uh, Last I saw, it was over $1.5 billion. If what I saw was correct, I don't think anybody's hit it yet. So I might have to invest about $6, and that would be like 3 tickets. But hello, Tasha. How are you doing? I'm going to kill some time and then just get on to, I have my cheat sheet, my little clipboard over here, just talk about a few things. Nothing, it's going to change the world for the viewership, but I haven't talked to you guys on a live in a bit. So I thought, hey, what the heck? Let's kill this. Let's get out there. But I'm excited. It's current temperature is 90 degrees in Southwest Florida. I haven't really been out lately. It's definitely full clouds, a little breezy, and it is what it is. But usually down here in Southwest Florida, once we get a cold front, and then the second cold front after that, it stays consistent. It can get colder. Down, it's all relative, I guess, to where you live. What would you consider a cold front? But at times we do get temperatures down here in the wintertime where it gets into the mid 30s, upper 30s, or, with wind chill and what have you. And sometimes there could be like warning for your plants. You have to cover them up and stuff like that, especially some of the citrus crops in different parts of the region. Anyway, so I'm just chilling today. I created a chicken and dumpling recipe that I kind of been hankering for a little bit. So I did that. So I'm kind of liking that. It was literally, hey, Homestead in the Wood with D. Hello. Welcome to the Nut Hut. So anyway, yeah, my chicken and dumpling recipe, what I had thawed out a few days ago 2 chicken leg quarters. Then I boiled them, and then I carved off the meat, and then let that chill and make sure there was no skin in there and stuff like that. And then basically I added some later. I added some cooking wine, white cooking wine, into like a pot, and then added some milk, and then I added obviously the chicken. Flour. It's kind of like having some French in me. You're like, a recipe is what it is. You don't measure stuff. You just throw stuff in and see how it turns out. So that's kind of what I did. I whisked in some flour, had the milk. Then I had a can of. It's not like this is like a recipe that I've done over and over again. Every time I do a chicken and dumpling recipe, it's always a different way. So I had a can of Campbell's chicken gumbo. Then I had a larger can of Campbell's chicken and noodle soup or something like that. So I put that in there and I just kept adding the meat. And then I had the little can of. Tell me, I definitely want some input on this. Tasha, I'm going to get to that here shortly. I'm just hoping if, a couple more people pop in. It looks like there might be 3 people. That's usually the max on my lives. I don't think I've done a Wednesday live in a long time, but so I got a little can of the, I think it was Pillsbury biscuits. And I've heard, please, if anybody, you cooking experts out there, I've heard them say, do not use the flaky buttermilk biscuits because it just doesn't have the same consistency. I've been using that and when I go to Walmart or somewhere, it's the smaller half can, and you can't find the regular biscuits in the smaller half can. You can find it in the large can. So I just pinch off a piece or just kind of roll it in a ball or whatever. And just when I'm cooking, that's what I do. It turned out pretty darn good. I won't say great, 7.5 or an 8, whatever, but I just slow cooked it. A lot of times I do it in the crock pot. I did not do that today. But anyway, so now I'm going to get on talking about a couple things for people that have been watching that know a little bit about my background. My mom is suffering and dying of dementia, and she's also taken a few spills in the last, 9 months, whatever it is. She is currently in a rehab facility about 3 miles up the road. She had fallen and has a broken hip with a rod in her hip, and she's a hot mess. She is, I've been informed she's not coming home. She's pretty much going to spend the rest of her life there. Or, well, I say there, however long she lives, if her dementia gets worse, there's a possibility she could go into a hospice facility. I'm not sure if that location actually has a hospice wing. I'm not really sure, but so that's that. Well, on the mom side, she'll call me. It's weird. Some days she'll call me 20, 30 times, and she does not know how to work the phone. I'll answer. She's hanging up. It's just a hot mess. She'll call me she called me. This is an example. Tasha, it's, I'm sorry too, but it is what it is at this point, and nothing I can do about it, to be honest with you. It's like, unfortunately, nobody can do anything about this at this stage. But I'm the son that lives the closest. I live in her house for a short period of time going forward. I'm going to get to that topic too. But she calls me today, and she's done this a lot in the past. The dementia is messing with her so bad. People are always stealing her clothes, and hey Ken, what's up, brother? Yeah. So my mom's talking about, just her brain just messes with her so bad. These people are stealing her sweaters, her clothes, and all this. And it's just like, and I said, yeah, okay, Mom, we're going to check on that. We'll get you new sweaters, and you pretty much just have to play the game, just trying to appease her. And then she'll call me. It's weird. Some days she's like, her brain is, you think she's normal again, and then the next day she'll call and says, I don't know, where am I? I don't know where I'll be at work or whatever. I don't know where I am. Where am I? Tell me where I am and all this. And I'm like, Mom, you're in a rehab facility, blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of like just the stuff that I'm trying to deal with, it really sucks, but it is what it is. I don't hate to see anybody go through that, but let me see here. Let me get my pen here. I'm going to cross off a couple things. So we talked about that. Talked about my chicken and dumpling recipe. If anybody has a good chicken and dumpling recipe, you can email it to me or message me, whatever. That I'm up for that. That's really cool. I had a little bit of a crisis today. Around 12:40, the Wi-Fi went out here in the house. And for once, I try to give you guys ample time to let you guys know that there was going to be a live today. Not that, I had like my live's going to change the world or anything. But then the Wi-Fi went out for like a half hour. So I'm like, oh man. So finally it got restored, but I was almost getting ready to pull the plug on this live via my phone just to let everybody know, like, okay, it wasn't going to be conducive. But it worked out. It got restored. Thank God for that. So for the people that do not know, I am the redheaded stepchild of the family. Everybody knows that. It's well documented. And I've been the person who's the power of attorney has told me I need to vacate by November 1st or thereabouts. So this house can be either rented or put up for sale to cover the medical expenses for my mother. So you could see how that could be concerning to me, because we are just a little over a year from when I had, actually, it's probably been a year since I had the other previous incident, Hurricane Ian related. So I'm like, all right, here we go. Like trying to deal with another poop storm. And obviously, I'm not a wealthy dude. I'm far from it. And I've been advised that there would be some financial assistance for me to relocate. There was a number discussed. I was told he would help. When I say he, it's basically my mom's helping. But if it's not that number, I'm going to be SOL, like big time. So with that being known and stuff like that, I gave notice to my employer. I gave him 2 weeks notice. And this is something I've talked about in the past on videos. This is how there's a lot of times there's no reciprocation of professionalism from employers. They expect you always to give 2 weeks notice. Like I could have just not showed up one day and said, "Hey, I'm done with you guys." We going. I could have screwed them. No, I was like, I'm going to take the high road, give the notice. So I gave the notice. I think it was like a 13-day notice, 12 or 13-day notice, whatever. But the way my work schedule fell, it was actually longer. If there was only one day, which would have been a Saturday. So I was trying to coordinate my next two pays. My next pay, which would have been this Friday, if I had worked today, would have given me a full pay cycle. And then if I worked Thursday and Friday, the next Friday, I would have had a half a paycheck. So I was kind of like counting on that for transportation expenses and stuff like that, because I'm going to probably be relocating to the Panhandle of Florida area. So I was going to need fuel money. And then when I get up there, like I said, I probably need to make 2 trips. So I have to get a storage unit. And then basically I'm going to have to be living out of my van again, which is not, not real comforting. But so that's where that is. So there's going to be more on the job status. I'll be talking about that a little bit later in due time. The relocation. I picked the Panhandle, was kind of like outside of Pensacola, because it's housing is a little bit cheaper. There's a strong possibility I will not be able to afford housing and pay all my bills. So I'm just preparing to live out of my van in probably the 3 coldest months of the year. And it gets a lot colder in the Panhandle. Just because it's Florida doesn't mean it doesn't get cold. We've had in the 30s frost and freeze warnings down here in Southwest Florida, and the Panhandle's 600 miles away. So you can imagine there's probably going to be temps in the 20s. So I'm trying to prepare to live out of my van. There's some different, what I call them, wildlife management areas. I've tried to look into. The one I thought was going to help me for different periods of time has closed. They had 2 different locations on the same region. So now I've reached out to people, and now I've got to, now I'm literally going blind to the Panhandle, flipping a coin, hoping for the best, because I don't know what else to do. Housing's just too damn expensive down here because this area is in high demand. There's less housing due to the hurricane, so landlords are putting it to people basically. Housing has gone up like 50% down here. It's just ridiculous. And the other problem is, like, even if a homeowner did have a home, not that I'm going to own a home anytime soon, but insurance companies are canceling people in this region. So you've been paying on a policy for 10, 15, 20 years, whatever, and all of a sudden you're being canceled because you're in a danger zone because of 2 hurricanes. Crazy, just crazy. So I've been trying to prepare. Somebody told me to do an Amazon wish list. I had an old Amazon wish list that did absolutely nothing for me. It was more of like an experiment to see how it would appear on my channel. So I have not talked to this person that suggested that, but it was meant with good intentions. So I'm thinking that if I hate doing that because I hate asking for help, but since the other person, it was their idea, I don't know where I could have packages shipped to because I don't know where I'm going to be. I don't know where I'm going to land. So I'm thinking, like, if I did something related to that, maybe Walmart, like Walmart gift cards or e-cards, or I'm looking at I'm going to need a Mr. Heater or a Big Buddy type propane thing to keep me from freezing my behind off. There's different things preparing for the cold. I've got to build a bunk for inside the van. I'm going back and forth. I'm not a framer. I have an idea how I can do it. It does not need to be fancy. It just needs to hold me upright and still look somewhat presentable. I'm not looking for aesthetics. I'm just looking for survival. And then the other thing that's going to kill me is not having the ability to have access to Wi-Fi if I go to these primitive campsites and stuff like that. There will be no electricity, so that's going to be difficult. If I get up there and find a job within 3 days and I get right to work, it could help the situation a little bit. But it's the great unknown. So then I was looking into purchasing a Jackery. It all depends on this. My travel funds. It seems like you can get a small Jackery on Amazon right now for about $199. I don't know I'm not an electronics guru, and it looks like the solar panel would be about $200 or less. So for $400, I could be in the game there. I think those Jackeries, you could, like, if I did get a job and I plugged it in at work, I think they can charge from direct current. Like I said, I'm not an electrician, so I don't understand all the electronic stuff, but then, you don't want to leave your solar panel out all day for someone to steal it, so all that. So that's kind of like some of the things I'm dealing with. I'm trying to, continue to make my vehicle payments, keep the insurance valid. I like camping, but when it's a whole new ball game and when every day you're camping, if I'm like literally like I had to go through that for 2 months before, and it just sucked. At least up in that region, there's a better chance of me being in like around nature and not being in a grocery store parking lot, what have you. And so that's that. And then like I talked about before, if I could put up some blinds and curtains in the van, can I sleep at a Waffle House, where I can get Wi-Fi or something. I don't know. And like people said, Cracker Barrel. So these are all the concerns I have, and this is not looking too promising. As I've stated previously. I will try and change the topic a little bit. I did throw out a challenge to Chris at Shade Tree America to do some type of MRE or survival meal video, because I think he could do it better than I could do it, even though I'm going to be in that mode sometime in the future. Somewhere, I have one kit that was called an APAC. I don't know where I got that. I don't remember if I got that at like Bass Pro or I don't know, but it looks like a thick kit. I think you boil them and stuff like that, or you add hot water to it or something like that. But the military MREs that were given out during Hurricane Irma, I still have some of those, and they're a lot thinner. They're not as abundant. It's just basically to keep you alive. And so that's that. So, I'm trying to stay vertical. It's like the worst time of year, Well, I shouldn't say it's the worst time of year, because I would rather be cold with the ability to have heat than be sweating my butt off without the ability to have air conditioning. And I have that problem in my van. So I don't know, then I don't, you don't want to get sick for a week or two because you're living primitively, but I don't know what to expect, folks. I'm not real excited about the future, but that's it. I just want to touch base with some, people out there, see what everybody's doing. Like I said, normally I don't do videos, like a live video on a Wednesday during the day, but this was going to be my last day of the work cycle, and they pretty much told me not to come in, so I did the respectful thing. I gave 2 weeks notice, and the professionalism was not reciprocated. Imagine that. I've talked about that before with employers. I've seen it happen with other people. I had a feeling it was going to happen. There's going to be more conversation about that going forward. But anyway, folks, appreciate you guys tuning in. If you want to share any recipes, anything with chicken and dumpling related, that would be great. There is, I did subscribe to a couple new channels, and I did put them on my community page. I wish I should have written the one channel down, but a couple new channels I found. So if you go check out my community page, some cool channels that are doing good things. One is like camping related that I found today, and I know it's a double C title, and I forget the name. But so that's it, folks. I'm gonna get about my business and see. I have my phone on airplane mode. See if my mom's called me 30 more times. See what's going on there, and then just I've been trying to sell furniture too, by the way, possessions, and that's humbling. You build up possessions, then you sell them. You build them up, then you sell them. You build them up, then you sell them. Because I really had I knew I had to get as far away from Southwest Florida as possible. If there isn't a chance for housing, it's not going to be here. It's too damn expensive. Actually, the area of the Panhandle I'm looking at tentatively, my plan could totally change. I have no idea. It's like literally just a coin flip. Would be like, it's called Navarre, Milton. It would be east of Pensacola, anywhere in that region. It's a little bit cheaper to live. I just have a feeling the employment situation is not the greatest up there, and that they probably pay less based on to the economic surroundings. So it's literally just a crapshoot. It's like a coin toss and a crapshoot. But I'll talk to you folks another time. And one day I want to, if you live in a Powerball state, you might want to invest $6 to $10. A Powerball ticket is $2 a piece. The last time I saw it was over $1.5 billion. If you just pick the 6 right numbers, you're pretty well off. If you get like five numbers, you're still like walking away with like $1 million. So you don't have to hit all 6. 5 would make me happy, you know. And I think there's a pretty good compensation for if you get 4. I forget if it's 3 numbers plus the Powerball or just 4 numbers, but I think that's like you're doing okay. I mean, I want to say it's $100,000 or less. It could be more. I don't know, but there's an opportunity, and the Powerball, my understanding, is on Monday nights, Wednesday nights, Saturday nights, if I have that correctly. So drink one less cup of coffee and go out and get you a couple of those tickets. It could change your life. That would be nice. Peace out, folks. And remember, like Ken from Lone Cowboy Adventures always says, when you get a chance to say hi to a stranger, thank you. Peace out. Oops, hold on. Hit the wrong button. Like Ken always says, say hi to a stranger. Peace out. Don't be an idiot in life. Peace.